Hi everyone, it's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi-Brown as always. I have the ladies in the building. Jimzo, how are you?
I'm amazing and grateful. You
Just reminded us that you're Rasta.
Yes.
People always forget that.
Just in case you people forgot that I'm Rasta all the way. So yesterday was amazing at the Celebration Schools debate. This time around, the Ajebos won. You know, usually it's the public schools that win. Well, first and second were Ajebo schools, but they did very well. Yeah, they did very well. Also, it is our director's birthday today, Mr. Lukman Musa. Oh, happy birthday, Mr. Musa.
Happy birthday, Mr.
Happy birthday,
Musa. We wish you the very best of the years ahead. God bless
Talking about
you.
birthdays, I have to say, give a special shout out because she would just put a gun to my head if I don't. To my girlfriend for life, Damilola Olaya. She's a year older today. I think she's been one of my closest friends since back in the day, and we've always been cool together.
Same Dami event?
Same Dami, yeah.
Oh,
Dami, yeah.
not bad.
So she works at FIRS right now. She just got the job, it's a new job.
Oh, nice.
She's pretty excited about that. So happy birthday, Dami Lola. Please let me say happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday, Dami. Okay, I know the Dami, so Dami, God bless you, and just send us cake.
Yes. How are you doing, Topsy?
I'm very good. Yesterday was my brother-in-law's birthday, and he told me that he lives in Benin, he works in the banking sector in Benin. He says every morning when he's in his office, he takes coffee and watches our show. So I'm like, oh, what was I on the show yesterday so I could wish him? So yeah, yesterday's past. I called you already, but then everybody's in the mood of saying happy birthday.
So we're still in bed. Who's Biden on your side?
Can I just ask a question, Obia Julie? What's this blunt thing that you people are just doing? What's that?
Hey!
What is it?
Well, agaracha.
It sounds interesting.
Just shining.
Okay, good.
Okay, that's good.
Fantastic. How are you doing, Obia Julie?
I'm doing great. Tomorrow I'll be at an event. I'll be judging a beauty pageant.
Oh, nice.
At the Sun Center. I've been there. I have the experience, you know. And on Saturday I'll be doing. There's this actress Uche Obodo. She's doing this workout session for women who want to lose weight and feel good. I'm going there to speak as a coach. And I'll be talking about self-esteem, self-respect, self-love.
Fantastic. Talking about that, today is the International Day for the Girl Child. It's a day set aside to project and empowering young girls to fulfill their destiny. I know in the beginning, Jumoke used to be so into this girl child thing.
Don't shout. Don't shout.
This was you.
UNESCO
started political
Way of
matters.
Hope. I was their ambassador for women issues and the girl child issue. I used to carry it on my head.
Politics just totally.
Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened, right? While focusing on the girl child and the women issues, you realize that most of the problems are policy issues.
Yeah, true.
If you can address the policies, then everyone will be sorted out.
Because anytime I think of girl child, always Jumoke comes to my mind first.
Ambassador.
Yeah, she was always screaming about it.
Today, she's just...
But at the end of the day, these days, we just take it for granted and mention it, but I realize that it actually has impact on those kids' lives. When you go to schools to speak to them, they remember. Yeah. I met someone that was saying that, oh, you came to speak at my school, and I couldn't remember when it happened. So I think that we shouldn't take it for granted. If you have been through your school, you're doing well, go back to your school. On days like this, go and talk to them. Go and put a message in their mind. Come and inspire them.
Ambara is too far.
Yeah.
Ambara is far away.
But
you must remember the boy child too.
Girl child advocates. Don't worry, I'm here again for you.
Seriously, we don't know where to put you anymore.
She's dumping, let me categorically, she's dumping politics very soon. She don't tire for politics. She'll be an advocate for girl child.
But even the politics talk, Steph, like I mentioned, it's about policies.
Yeah.
Look, once we have good governance, everybody, including boys,
good governance.
will
Everybody
be
will do
sorted
well.
out.
We'll all flourish in a good environment.
All right,
Hello.
cool. Let's go on a break. It's Thursday.
Yeah.
Let's try to breeze through the non-political issues in the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Start with the Punch. Primaries reps on a collision course with IG over colleagues' detention. AMCON wants Polaris Bank sold in 2 years. Hey, that's our Sky Bank, you. Father Lord Almighty. I'm not afraid of you, Fayose tells EFCC. Murder. Woman sends text message to friend after her husband's death. AFG charges Ekweremadu Akpan with refusal to declare assets. APC PDP senators unite. Give Buhari's polls budget speedy passage. 11 burnt in Abuja restaurant gas explosion. Zamfara, APC dares INEC, vows to field candidates for 2019 elections. The Aro Psychiatric Hospital admits 300 patients daily.
Imagine.
No, monthly actually. Says the MD, that's I think in Ogun State.
Yes.
Okay,
Should
so
I
let's-
go with that first?
Yeah, go
before you
ahead.
Do your story. So the provost and medical director of Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Aro Abeokuta, is saying that they admit 250 to 300 patients with mental illness every month to
That's
the
a lot.
Yeah, the
Do they have that
facility.
amount of space?
So he's saying that because people asked, and he said this is not the people who are dead. These are new people who come in every month, and that mental illness actually starts from 14. But because it's undetected, we leave it to deteriorate. And so he's saying that people need to, the government needs to make policies. There's a bill that's been passed on mental illness, and they should work on it.
And we
so
need
that
to
we
have
can-
more data, because I read somewhere that in UK, every person that's committed suicide had been in the institution a year before then under medication.
Whoa.
They also said that anybody that had depression, even in their 30s, had been diagnosed when they were in their teens. But we don't have these stats
don't
for a
have it.
fact. And we don't even take
So-
children serious when they say, I'm feeling down.
Is it possible that Udeme, in the case of the lawyer who murdered her husband, also had a mental health issue that was
that were
undetected?
Yeah.
Because
It could
our
be.
case is in trial, and yesterday her friend, whose name is Maureen Offo, attested in court on the prosecution side that Udeme sent her a text message. She, you know, they'd been friends for long. She was Udeme's bridesmaid. Udeme's husband was her own husband's groomsman, you know, and that she knew when they got married in 2014 that they'd had issues, you know, and that she had always said, don't worry, we'll sort it out. And that Udeme had said to her that she was traveling to the UK to just take time off. And so when Udeme sent her a message on the 9th of 4 a.m. May 3rd, saying that they're having a fight again, just help me pack my bags, I'm leaving. She was like, but we already agreed now. I already packed your bags. You know.
So that means she's actually not conscious of what's going on
And
mentally.
then Udeme's mom now called her in the morning to say
They're
the
fighting.
husband, they're fighting. Called her later and said the husband is dead.
So it suggests
It's a case of-
premeditation that she probably even planned it. To travel.
Yeah.
Moving on now to The Nation 2019, how Buhari will battle Atiku by APC governors. Zamfara APC kicks as INEC bars candidates. Associates seek role for ex-DSS boss Daura. Farmers' headers crisis, what Tinubu said. I think that's in response to the papers yesterday.
taking the story.
And IMF urges Nigeria to increase non-oil revenue. Okay, the major headline, APC governors are saying that Buhari would defeat Atiku on issue-based matters. That they're going to focus on issue-based campaigns to convince Nigerians to vote for Buhari. That's what that paper says in a nutshell.
Today, Senator Ben Murray-Bruce was also saying that Nigerians must demand for a debate. That if you're going to employ anybody to serve you, you must interview them now. So let them come and, you know, debate and tell us what their plans
Person,
are.
not in proxy.
Yes, so.
The IMF
Go ahead.
story. So the International Monetary Fund is saying that Nigeria has to increase its revenue, you know, move away from the traditional oil base of getting revenue. So that is, we need to
We've been
do
saying
other
this for
things,
many
and they are
years.
also looking into handling tax evasion. That's one of the ways we get money to fund every other aspect. And
They're
do
telling
our
us what we know
infrastructure.
now. We've-
But they
Yeah,
are still
people
working
said
on
over
it.
and over
Why again?
themselves.
What they should be reminding us, because apparently
So
our
that
leaders
we
are not
know.
hearing.
But we know now. We know.
No, they are hearing, but they're not listening. Because if you're
They're not
listening, you will
active.
change
Remember
your
what our
action.
budget is. Our budget, the revenue we're expecting is a lot from this tax, for tax revenue,
Yeah.
tax projections, these evasions they're talking about.
Yeah.
So that's a big chunk of where we're hoping to get money from.
You know,
we
they
need
did
to
VADES.
explore other
They did
ways.
VADES that worked.
get
Now they're saying also that if you have property or investment abroad,
Yeah.
that you have to come and pay Nigeria
And
tax.
I think
Declare it first.
I think the tax man at the Fowler was to give us a figure recently how much we need to
It's been improved. It's
Yeah.
improved.
So-
It's improved, actually.
Yeah, so-
It has improved.
Moving
A
on
lot of people
to
abroad came to quickly declare.
Vanguard, APC runs into storm in Rivers and Zamfara. We are not jittery over Atiku APC governor's boast. Atiku visits Obasanjo today. Wow, he's going to Baba. Yeah.
good.
I hope TVC is there live. from what's that his house called again? Otta.
What's our farm?
yeah.
The farm.
Okay, 2019 expenses for present governors, senators, reps must not exceed. The figures are here according to the Senate. Chronicles of Life and Public Service of Rahamon Bello. Senate okays 189 billion naira budget for INEC. Summons IGP, NSA, DSSDG. Okay,
So
let's take out the
apparently
major
Vanguard
headline.
is the only newspaper I read because I have all the stories there. But the major headline, so there's crisis within APC. INEC wrote to them that they will not accept the candidates from Zamfara and that they would have no representation in the election from the APC in Zamfara because there was no primaries before the deadline of Sunday.
Yes.
What that was INEC's information to APC, and the chairman of
The party.
the party replied saying that we had a consensus, we had an agreement from a heated process, and we've decided that so and so people will be representing us, but you cannot be focusing on APC in Zamfara, where the same thing also happened to PDP in Kano State.
Yes.
And if you did not focus on PDP in Kano State, then you cannot ask APC not to bring out people within every area, from Senate to House of Assembly and governorship. But this is also with the case of Rivers, because Rivers State also has an issue with INEC, where the primaries handled by Amechi was ruled out.
Yes.
The court case has nullified that process too. So the what's the name of the candidate? Tony Cole, who was supposed to come out as the preferred candidate of Amechi, has been ruled out that there was something wrong in the process of bringing out the delegates. So APC needs to sort out the internal issues within these areas.
Moving on now to the Nigerian Tribune.
Move on.
Yes.
They've stipulated what the budget would be for elections. Now, we all know that each from presidency shouldn't spend more than 5 billion.
Right.
Governorship shouldn't spend more than 1 billion. I'm wondering, that for me is still too much, but that's like the limit, that it shouldn't go beyond that.
Is this for the elections? Or
Yes, for the
Yes.
elections, their campaign funds shouldn't be more than 5 billion for the presidency, 1 billion for
it's
the...
a big country.
Yeah,
Think
true.
about it.
But for the State House of Assembly and the
70
Federal House of
million.
Assembly, 100 million and all that, my thought process is that everybody is saying that they are saying that we shouldn't donate more than 10 million to the election. Who has 10 million to donate to the election?
All right, let's move on to the Nigerian
To
Tribune.
shock you.
You did not see PDP in 2015,
People
Abi?
have that money.
Court INEC strike at APC in Rivers and Zamfara. Just talked about that. Labour FG disagree over the 24,000 naira minimum wage proposal. 11 burnt in Abuja restaurant gas explosion. Police nab gang that abducted and killed the poultry farmer in Oyo after collecting 700,000 naira. The North contributed more to out-of-school children, says the Sultan. IMF cautions Nigeria on mounting external debt. And Yoruba Unity Forum holds State of the Nation Summit in Ikenne today. I'm happy with that because Yorubas seem to always have these meetings to have a consensus. So,
They're more
hoping
united.
out of school students in Nigeria.
The North.
Remember, in the entire country, it was 10.5 million as at last year. As at this year, it is now 13.2 million. We've increased. And the North is contributing more to that.
course, that's obvious.
You know, we need to do something
It's
about it.
it's about insecurity.
Yeah. No, international organizations. So the Sultan is talking about
Just
is that
corroborating.
more of that is from the North.
North. And you know why? Because they don't believe in Western education.
No,
No, that's my opinion.
Okay, so let's-
Okay.
They have a sect who do not believe in Western education, and they are frustrating children from going to school.
They are the minority.
Yes, because the majority of what
They are
is
the
doing is
minority.
insecurity, lack of funds. The schools are dilapidated. They
quite a
don't have
number-
enough teachers.
I know quite a
The
number of
issues-
Northerners are very educated.
They want education.
Extremely
But
educated.
the policy,
They want
the framework
very
is not
educated.
there. There's no security. Why people go to school?
when you travel abroad, you see a lot of them in the university.
And they're very brilliant.
Guess what?
Yeah.
The
When
Boko
they
Haram
do go to
returnees,
school.
those two girls did exceedingly well when they went abroad to school.
Yeah.
So it's not about lack of will to be educated.
It's
lack
infrastructure.
of infrastructure for the education. It's really
let's talk
bad.
about
The minimum
the
wage,
Labour-
yes. So the Minister for Labour is saying now, they had a meeting, the
Fake
federal
meeting.
executive meeting yesterday, and he is saying that the tripartite committee, they've not agreed on any amount. So the federal government is proposing 24,000 naira because they do not want to, bring out, give an amount that will stress the states to pay. So they are proposing 24, but then the meeting has been postponed again. Nobody has come up with. And, you know, the media carried 30,000 all through yesterday and last week. So they're saying that's just...
Who read Daily Sun? Governor Mosu threatened to dump
Yes,
APC.
Governor Mosu has threatened to dump APC because his
of their
preferred
primaries.
candidate, his preferred candidate was not picked to be the governor of the state. And he said that he wouldn't go to PDP. He ruled out PDP, but he would not mention the party he might go to. He's had a meeting with the presidency on this issue. And also, the Lagos State governor has been there, Imo State governor has been there, Kano State governor has been to meet the presidency, all of them having issues with the primaries within their state, and the fact that the expected result was not what came out. So things we're expecting things to change. APC should get themselves together, because PDP is arranging, PDP is arranging, and we are watching all the other options.
We'll see you. All right, let's go on a break. It's Thursday. Enough of matters in the newspapers. When we come back, how do you deal with being married to a public figure? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Your View.
Yes, thanks for staying with us. So being married to someone who is a public figure can be very exciting, but also exhausting. And the spouses sometimes may feel left out of the limelight. Now, the question is, are you in that position of being visible only as someone's spouse and almost lacking an identity of your own? Join the conversation on 070-8066-8014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Now, this can go either on the man's side or the woman's side. But we could start from the woman being the celebrity and then the husband being the one who seemingly feels out of the limelight. So in your view, how should a woman who's out there manage the fact that her husband is not in the limelight?
It's a tough one. It's usually a very, very, very tough, and it puts a lot of strain on a marriage. Even good marriages struggle when a woman is in the limelight. It takes a lot of self-discipline, self-confidence, and self-control for her man to watch and allow and feel free and still be comfortable in letting his wife shine. While I was in the US, the MyPad Award was also given to Stella Damascus, and I saw how they were fawning over her, and everybody was around her, and her husband was taking pictures, and I felt this was... No, I understand men that can take it, but this one, the guy was even taking pictures, helping them take pictures, helping them take pictures. At a point, he went to a side and stood and was on his phone while she was still receiving all the attention. I felt this actually requires a man that understands this is my wife's line of work.
May I throw in a loop into that one? Her husband was married to an actress before and divorced. So I think that maybe some things, he learned some lessons from the former marriage. So go ahead.
It was impressive. So I feel that, one, I don't think every man can handle a wife in the limelight.
Not every
man can handle it.
If you consider someone like Motola, her husband is a professional. He's a captain. He's not just a husband or doing business or trying to hustle. He actually has something doing. And I think when a man has something that he finds to do, somewhat that builds his confidence. So regardless of how, I'm just saying from the other side, regardless of how the wife shines or the woman shines in his life,
may I also
because
throw
he's a
in
professional
something for the Omotola one? He married her when she was 18. So he saw her grow into it from one man admiring her to hundreds of millions of men. So he knew her before she became who she was.
A lot of men know their wives at young age and still don't give them that opportunity to go.
Thank you.
So, okay, let me let you.
The spouse whose career personality is big will definitely swallow the other person. It doesn't mean the other person isn't doing as fantastic in their field, but because there are certain careers that the personality of that career is big, so it covers you.
Singing.
Yes, it covers the other person. Now, some people don't have a problem with that. Other people have a problem with that. In my opinion, those ones who have a problem with my spouse's career personality being bigger than me, and now they refer to my husband as BC's husband, do you understand? It stems from insecurity issues. Now, because
On
if
whose
you know,
part?
on the part of the person who is complaining, because if you know who you are in the scheme of things, how people
You'll be
refer
proud
to
to be
you,
Bisi's husband.
exactly, how people refer to you wouldn't matter. This also stems from the fact that every human wants to be validated. Now, everybody has that need, but how we show that need differs from person to person. I was reading a book recently, and it says that the human being wants to be validated, the human being wants to be heard, the human being wants to be seen,
Praised.
and wants to be understood. So now when you have a spouse whose personality is big and you're being swallowed, that need for you to be heard and seen and, you know, understood comes out and you fight back.
Let me take this call.
So we see the fighting back as the problem.
Doing, thanks for calling. Are you there?
Yeah. Good
Go ahead.
morning.
Morning.
How was your night?
Low baton.
I'm not sure you want. I'm not sure you want to know the details.
I know I did the motel talk. I know I did the motel talk.
He wants to know the details of my nights.
I know you talk. I know you talk.
Go ahead, please.
Go ahead, Doing.
I'm just sending a shout out. I'm just sending a shout out to you. Thank you very much. That's a wonderful show.
All right, Jumoke.
Thank you, Doing.
Go ahead.
So, talking about insecurities, Williams, what's her first name? Serena. It's the husband. They were calling him Mr. Williams. And when she goes to play tennis at the tournament, he will carry their baby, Olympia, and be the one feeding. And so, a journalist interviewed him and said that, doesn't he feel a little slighted being called Mr. Williams? And he's like,
What does it matter?
in my office, remember, he's a billionaire. I have all the funding. Oga here, Oga there. So before I met this lady, she was already, you know, and I knew what I
Had a
was going
personality.
into when I made the decision to marry her. I wanted to compare him to an African man.
Thank you.
Ewo, we have some African men who understand their wives so.
Thank you.
But a lot of them, and it's not their fault, is their upbringing.
Insecurity.
That the woman, she's supposed to be your support. If she now overshadows you, she's supposed to take care of you. If it is now the maid who is taking care of you, a very prominent Nigerian politician woman, did very well in politics. We keep on praising her till tomorrow. But while she was doing this national duty, the husband impregnated the house girl.
Bagam.
Why?
Gang,
Because
gang,
house
gang,
girl will come
gang.
and serve him.
But you see,
that's not
Money
the
is
reason.
that.
That's not the reason.
You're playing to that gallery all the time.
that's
Let's not keep going to that gallery.
Yes,
House
that's
girl
not
come
the
and kneel
reason.
down.
No, no,
It's
no.
not always the reason.
No, but
It's
the
not always
point
the
is-
reason.
Me, I want to-
Joko, sit down first. Sit down.
I want to deal with the men because you see, in Africa, the context for relating with a man is the man is the head of the home. The woman is an addendum. She's the wife of my wife. You are Madame, Mark's wife, Mark's wife.
Which is
That's
wife.
my identity.
Brown's wife.
Do you understand? It is, we see, men see the woman as mine. So when my husband now introduces himself, my name is Mark Odige, and they now ask him, are you the husband of Tokpe on your view?
Bagam.
That is, he is now being identified as an affiliate to me. If he
That's the
doesn't have
problem.
a clear understanding of who he is and where he stands,
Exactly what
he will
I
begin
said.
to feel subjugated to my personality. And that happens everywhere. So for me, the assignment is for the woman in the limelight to be able to ensure that I do not conflict the roles of my role as a woman. I am outside. I am the woman in
but
the
somebody like
limelight. When I become the wife, my husband understands my role as the wife. I'm subject to him.
But do you understand? It's not so much
It's two
about
different
what you
things.
do.
No,
It's not so much
but it
because,
helps.
because I don't. There's always the perception that the woman takes on that responsibility of trying
not her
to.
job.
No. It's
trying
not.
to make you
The
feel
man needs
good
to
about
have
the
his
situation.
own role.
Exactly.
But you know, we have issues and we must not neglect those categories. There are a lot of them that once they become big
Yes.
and they technically blow.
Okay, so
They don't listen anymore.
Tope, the first thing, we should handle this from the roots. Who are you as a person before you get married? Who are you as an individual?
How many women know themselves before they get married?
That's the problem. That's the problem. So when you are in a situation where you don't know yourself, I don't know myself, because she's bigger than me now, it becomes a problem. But if you know your authentic self, whatever she becomes is the success of both of us. We enjoy it together.
Thank you for going to that point, because that's the point I'm going to. That's how my husband is very, very clear on who he is. Oh my goodness.
We don't have this issue.
There's nothing you become that you cannot come and that he knows.
He's confident.
So whatever you are. Tell my own story when we come back.
We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Before we went on break, I'll come to you, Jumoke, because I know that Obiajulu mentioned the point of the man knowing who he is. And I was mentioning, who was the person I mentioned? Captain, and I also mentioned Pastor. Somebody else talked about Pastor Dukoya, that he was a pastor, he's a man of God. And I was using my own as an example, that my husband, wherever we enter anywhere, my husband always feels, he'll tell you, Mura, I have broad shoulders. I'm tall.
Wow.
I'm fair skin. Look at my skin.
I'm cute. Does he say that?
Said to us, I like him. He said, Ashok Dalaram. So once he enters a place, he feels like, I am your husband, say. Let them know that I am the man in charge. So he has confidence in himself.
He knows himself.
So there's no how I go. He feels like, listen, you are complimenting me.
I control you.
I'm the deal.
He feels that. So that is the kind of person I have.
I'd like to understand what the difference is, because my man, he may not have, he does have very broad shoulders. Very broad shoulders. And he, well, maybe he's taller than I am, and he's very good looking. So there's nothing to be afraid of.
Right.
But he wants time with his woman.
Right.
Okay. Let's go to the cinema and
Everybody take a picture with you.
initially, I'm an event person now, so 70% of A-list artists, minus the very recent ones, I'm on first name basis with them. I attended their weddings, I attended their birthdays, so there's some relationship. So when you meet them, hey, and it's like, hold on a minute, we're going out together. Yes, I agree, you have introduced me, but then you go ahead, you say you're catching up 2 minutes, you're talking to Two-Face. That isn't allowed, I don't like it. That was bad enough. Then we now started the one of
Your View fans.
Can you get me a plate of dessert, please? And you take 5 minutes. Why? Because Your View fans, they want to take pictures. And there are only 3 of us here, so automatically he becomes a photographer.
Right.
And it's like, I want private time with you. I don't mind what you do. You know, and I don't want to be in that. I don't want, can we, all this parapor, can I just be left to myself? I'm now wondering, is it a place of, I don't think it's insecurity. Is it a place of your personality? If I'm introverted and I don't want all that attention on me.
Can I answer that?
Let me take a call first. Morning, thanks for calling. Hello?
Hello?
Tommy, go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Morning, go ahead. You're live, go ahead, please. Okay, go ahead, Bujele.
Yeah, so I wanted to say that in that case, it's not an insecurity problem. He understands what you do, but there's a communication gap, because when you're getting involved with somebody who is already in the spotlight, you should know that it comes with it. She's not going to turn back her fans and say, I'm sorry, I can't take pictures. I'm having lunch with my husband and all of that. So he needs to understand. You guys need to work out your boundaries, what is going to work for you. Or do we hide and go to places where people won't see? That's my opinion. There's a communication gap. You need to talk about it.
I don't agree that, see, in marriage is about compromise. Everybody must understand each other. He is an introvert. He is allowed to be introverted. She is in the limelight. She's allowed to be.
Okay.
When you prioritize being together, you would understand what is most important to you.
Thank you.
So how do you handle it?
Thank you. Let me pause you for a second. Remember Dakore? She's a star. She was out there. But the moment she got married to the man, there were some issues of, listen, step back. And she prioritized that. After she had done that, it was later on, the man said, you know what, it's time for you to fly. And she's flying like a
That is why we have a lot of single celebrities.
So it's about prioritizing and knowing when to push back. You know what, this is what is important to this man at this time.
This case?
So this second,
in this case,
hang it up.
In this case, she's not married.
Hang in there. No.
I'm
But see, married or not, once you prioritize your relationship, that this is important for me in this time.
Okay.
You step aside, but this is what this person wants, and you
Throw in something
remove yourself
into
from the
Dakore
situation.
case. Why do I do something about all of them? Dakore relocated abroad with her family. So her family is abroad. So when she's abroad, she's a nobody doing wife duties. When she comes to Nigeria now,
celeb.
she's on her own and she can do all the celeb duties.
Okay.
It's different from
There's a
if she was
difference.
with her husband.
There's a
And
difference.
I was privileged to be in some of those weddings when she was about to get married at the time, and I was in the small gossip gist of what the family was. It was a high-profile Yoruba
we
family.
understand. We remember.
I remember the man had issues with all the acting roles
They didn't
at the
want
time.
an actress
Exactly.
That's a
Initially. So,
different
but as
case.
I said, she had to understand her reality, step back, prioritize that marriage and relationship. First, it is man by himself. The man is not allowing her to be who she wants to be.
disagree.
We have a lot, we have a cultural difference between Nigeria, Africa, and the Western world. And we fail to acknowledge it because we've watched so many movies, we've read so many books about the Western world. We're confusing the realities of, of a Western man and an African man. An African man is brought up to be the man and the leader.
Okay.
And it is expected, and especially with our religious background, that a woman should submit. In most cases, when you really do obey those
Eventually,
tenets,
yes.
you will tend to come out
get your
and you
way.
will succeed.
You eventually get your
It
way.
depends on what your success definition is. Some
Let
have
me take
chosen
this
that
call.
success for them is to be single and be in the limelight.
Let me take this call from Abby. Abby, are you there from the UK?
yes, it's there.
Please go ahead. I can hear you.
I think something is wrong.
Okay.
May I? Okay.
Go ahead, please. You're live, Abby. Go ahead, please. Morning.
Yeah, my point of view is either you marry a public figure or not. If a man wants to mess up, he will mess up.
Ewo.
Yeah. So true.
Now, the integrity of a man is important in the marriage and public domain. There are so many reasons why you go to marry. You should go to marriage based on natural love, not anything attached. There are certain things that you cannot give the presence of your wife, either they're talking to God or not.
Okay.
So, if a man is a public figure or not, if there is a traces of being disobedient to marriage apart in his blood,
Right. Okay, Abby.
There is
Abby is taking
nothing
us
you
to
can
the
do
issue
about
of men being in public figure. We'll come to that in a moment.
I
Yes.
noticed that the wives who I've been talking about are married to rich men. So maybe you were born into a rich family, you're already confident. You wear flip-flops and shorts because you know who you are. When this celeb is married to a poor man and they are calling him husband of Morayo and Folabi Brown, is it the same thing? You've told us about your husband and him being very confident. A lot of times it's tough for a Nigerian man to swallow, especially he's trying,
When he's struggling financially.
He's trying to, cater to you. And
Really bad.
there was an actress on
Seems like
this
you don't
stage.
need him.
There was an actress here, Foruko Bola Shirin, who said, look at me now, that if I came on your show and I wasn't looking good.
tacky.
You don't remember
remember
her.
her.
Okay, and I don't know. Anyway, what she said was, look, I cannot suffer. So if she was married to a poor man, that one, it would not work. In fact, she almost said it.
Okay. It's confidence is not because you came from a wealthy background. I went to school with people from wealthy backgrounds, and they have a low self-esteem. They have
their struggles.
They have their struggles. They don't even know who they are. They are not even happy with who they are. Confidence, it's about you knowing who you are. So it's not about me being poor and my wife is in the spotlight, and then it's not about that. It's about where do we draw the line.
I'll ask you a
As
question.
husband
Let me take
and
this
wife.
call from
Start this phone
Shola.
call.
Shola, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yes, I'm
Go
here.
ahead,
Good
please. Go
morning.
ahead. Morning.
Good morning to all of you there. I've always preferred calling, but I hardly miss your program.
Thank you.
And you see, I think the issue we are discussing here, I think it's both individual and societal. Me, for example, I left banking for my wife. And I am an engineer, and I went to my field. And I even call myself bricklayer. Sometimes it's so
Let's
dirty.
bank him
And
for
when
his
they
wife.
see, they'll say, Oko Alaja niye. And you know, I don't care. I'm making my money, and my dream is to see my wife even right to the managerial level. That's my
God
dream.
bless you, Shola.
Now, on the society, when a woman is doing well, you even find the mother's, the husband's mother, and say, you tutorial mommy babe.
True.
Putting pressure on the man to start feeling inferior. Likewise, the woman's mother too. We say, look at him. He's spending my daughter's money. Not even minding that the guy is also making his money, even if it's not in the limelight. All these things bring issues into marriage. Until we understand that bringing people up, and when they are married, they should be left alone. I think we'll not be having.
Thank you very much,
all
Shola.
this.
Let's talk about
See, the issue, we have an issue where we've defined a man as successful when he's financially strong. Shola is able to talk because he said, I'm making my own money. But what will Shola be if he isn't making his own money and his wife is the one funding the house? Gat George said in the tweet, show me a woman who is really in the limelight and who is truly submissive to her husband, and I'll show you the last surviving dinosaur on planet Earth. I can say boldly. I can say boldly. Do you understand? I can say boldly. I can speak for myself. I can speak for Murayo right here on this couch. And Chiboke and BC,
Because
that
you know
I have seen them in their house. They submit, we all submit to our husbands. It is a lie to think that you're allowing your wife flourish would undermine your person, which is why a lot of men don't allow their wives to flourish. They won't allow their wives to exhibit their potential because they are scared it would hold them
I've
back.
said this thing a million times on this show, and I hope I won't sound like a broken record.
You're sounding like one already.
Awoshika, Ibuku Awoshika told us, and since I caught that statement, I have never left it. What defines a man?
It's not the money.
It's not about how much he makes. You see, if we get that through our brains, what defines a man is the fact that he's been ordained to be the head. That is you. That's the leader. That's the head. You are the head. So you have money, you don't have money. God has given you that role.
I agree.
So if you have that understanding,
That's why lazy men are now married rich women.
Exactly.
When we go on, when we come out from the break, we will discuss some other angles.
so you know what? So that talking about lazy men, all right? We'll flip the script. Men who actually are in the libraries. We shouldn't flip it yet. Men who are in the limelight, the Davidos, the big guys, and then their wives. What role should these women play in the lives of men who are in the limelight? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
I was supposed to take a tweet.
I have a question.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, let's take some tweets very quickly.
So, Jolly Jerry Gani says, it also starts when the woman started looking down on the man. It makes the man feel insecure. Evarista says, people of Nigeria prepare for perhaps the hottest day and couldn't know, sorry. That is not true. All men want to be the head in and out of their homes. This makes it difficult to cope when the woman is more popular. All that is needed is understanding and humility. It doesn't mean she loves you less.
Okpe says, ego. That's the reason some people find it hard in a relationship or marriage with a public figure. If you know how to carry yourself as a public figure, not to bruise your partner, man's ego, that's only when you can have a successful marriage or relationship. Samuel says the best way for a man to cope with the wife in the limelight is to understand that things can't be the same. There has to be changes which must be accompanied with humility. It doesn't mean she loves you less. Did you take that already, Tokwe?
Let me take this call from Abiola. Abiola, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead, please.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I love your program, and it's always very inspiring.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for doing a wonderful job.
Thank you, madam.
I didn't like to say that I'm in support of Tope Amraya this morning, and say I had this. You see, I believe all these celebrities should actually be left alone. They should be left alone to decide for themselves in their marriages. And more so, I would like to say to you that even while you try to discuss this, please let people also realize that there could be problems in their marriages, but the best result is that they should be able to manage it and make a successful marriage. Because many women who are the celebrities are also thinking right now that, well, since my man will not understand me, let me just leave him and just continue being who I want to be. No.
All
But you have to also prioritize and ensure that when you are in a marriage, African men are the head of homes.
Okay.
So their role as the head of the family, as the head of the marriage, must always be regarded.
Thank you very much, Abiola.
Thank you. It means to the point, Mariah, not every man will be like your husband. Not all of us would marry men that are very confident in themselves, not even understanding, that are very confident. Some men actually, based on their upbringing and exposure, are not strong individually. They derive their strength from what they have. And having that woman in the limelight puts them under serious pressure and they feel insecure and they are allowed to feel insecure. You that you've married such a person now need to work with your spouse, work with what you have. And I'm saying you've already married this person. Work with what you have and bring out the best in him because you can.
BC, please.
Can I answer her quickly? The problem we're having in marriages is people get into marriage thinking you will compliment me, you will be my better half. I am half, I'm coming together to become one. That is wrong. You are supposed to be a whole, you're supposed to be a whole self.
Yeah,
and in that wholeness, you know yourself, you have confidence in yourself. If peradventure you marry somebody who is not confident,
what happens to those that are married half?
No, hold on. It is their responsibility. Don't push the responsibility to your spouse to help begin to build confidence and insecurities for you.
You have been shouting. Know yourself, know yourself. Who are you?
Me? I am a human being, a rising star who loves herself first before the world.
This has not defined anything.
No,
that's what all of us are now.
No.
Who are you? Mariah, let me tell you who I am.
Okay.
I'm very outspoken.
Okay.
And contravening that is that I'm very introverted.
Okay.
I hate misunderstood.
Easily misunderstood.
Right.
In fact, God bless you every time. I have to explain to my girlfriends, to my men friends, I have to explain a sentence 100 times. Sometimes they still don't get it. And in the middle of that is that injustice makes my blood boil.
Okay.
Maybe I suffered a bit of injustice as a child. And so if I see it, I'm going for it. No. Okay. And I know that you cannot fight injustice as an individual. We need that collective, you know.
Okay, I like the injustice part.
And may I talk about injustice in marriage? And the question is, when we talk about submission, the Bible just says, woman, submit to your own husband. What do we understand submission to mean?
Okay, let me start with the topic, what you said is the injustice part. You see, I think Tokwe had given me the right word that's helped us. That's prioritizing. Yes, injustice is your cause. You hate it, it makes you boil. But if you're in a relationship and say, you know what, right now I want to settle down with this person. This is his own view, worldview. I'm going to accustom myself to his worldview. That injustice, you first of all compartmentalize first.
Where a woman being raped on the street,
you don't close your eyes. You do what you can do and do such that it's also within the scope of what that man has allowed temporarily. So on the point, once you earn his respect and trust, he will then allow you to do it your own way. But for now, do it within what I've allowed, or what I'm comfortable with you. That's one.
I agree.
The issue of submission.
What's the meaning of submission?
Well, submission means different things to different people. So for me, submission is where you always consider your husband in every single thing. You make him feel like, listen, you're my partner. I come to you for example. I'm expecting today, and I would love to have my child out of the country. Unfortunately, I can't go to the US because of the issues I'm having with the ban. And I can go anywhere else. But my husband has said, no.
Have your child in Nigeria.
He just says, no, we can't afford it. I'm like, well, I have been saving. He put it and said, Mariah, no. Now, I can say, I don't care, and buy my ticket because I have saved the money. I can, because I can. But because he has said no, guess what? I just kept step aside.
Why is he saying no? Because you can't afford it.
No, not that. Because he just feels that, listen, you cannot, don't do it because he feels I'm doing it because everybody else is doing it, or have friends doing it.
That was what my husband said
I'm
too.
saying no. Yes, we can put money aside for it, but I say we're running out of time. And I don't want us to leave people hanging with problems. Two issues that we must deal with. One, men should realize that allowing your wife flourish would not undermine you as a person.
Depending on the woman.
In most cases, when women are loved, they will submit to you.
Yes.
Two, women that are in the limelight or want to be in that space should submit. There is nothing that beats it. Humility precedes that greatness you desire.
So
What's the meaning
submit.
of submission to you?
Okay,
You cannot answer that question today.
I'll give you an example. One of the
When you people just say submit.
Sometimes, all right. So you know what? We'll do the men part maybe next week.
Yeah.
Men are the limelight, and we women, because we have a few politicians.
Can we bring a guest,
A real
a
politician.
man that can tell us the meaning of submission to men?
Hey,
Stay with us.
it'd be nice to
It's
hear
just
that.
respect.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
That would be nice.